The only thing that is regular about Caleb Williams is he writes a blog. That's about it. That's the only thing that's conventional about him and his journey through high school football and its recruiting apparatus. He's continued to handle each obstacle, each challenge presented with aplomb. In fact, that's what's made him remarkable. No matter the pomp, pressure, or prestige around him, he remains in control. That's the reason he told me he loves being a quarterback. He feels in control. Even when his decision to commit to Oklahoma was widely predicted and a seemingly foregone conclusion, he stuck to his decision date. Before fireworks would shoot off on the day he chose, the 4th of July, he would forge himself in the fire first. Weigh his options, consider his choices, then make a decision. He allowed himself to contemplate the merits of each of the 3 finalists on his list of suitors. He thought about what a decision to stay home, to play at Maryland and be the hometown hero so many wanted him to be in College Park, Maryland, would mean to him. He considered what a decision to attend LSU in 2021 would mean. After all, the Tigers had shown their might in the 2019 National Championship game. They boast a Biletnikoff Award winner, a Thorpe Award winner, and a Heisman winner, and the Joe Moore Award-winning offensive line on the same squad. They've already displayed their prowess once more in 2020 before a down has been played this season with a remarkable showing in the NFL draft. But Caleb Williams chose Oklahoma. Individual and team accolades aside, he settled on OU for one distinctive reason, a reason many committed OU recruits and players have cited from the moment they, like him, made the same decision. Lincoln Riley's program, the university, felt like home. It's a chance to become what he's desired to be since he was a kid coaches didn't believe could grow into a quarterback. It's a chance that was almost taken from him before he'd have a real opportunity to seize it at all. In June 2019, Williams and 5-star quarterback Brock Vandagriff each visited OU. Vandagriff visited as an elite prospect who chose to camp in Norman with an offer in hand. Williams was just learning the university and learning Riley. During that visit, Williams and Riley walked into an offensive meeting room to watch film. The session was supposed to last for 20 minutes. It lasted for 2 hours. The connection after the first time meeting him was pretty tight, Williams told me. Before he could allow himself to dream about strapping on his helmet as the starting quarterback at the place where Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray each made names for themselves, Vandagriff announced his commitment. While Vandagriff, a Georgia native and eventual UGA commit, was celebrated, Williams put his hands back to work at Gonzaga College High School in Washington, D.C. He set himself to winning the Washington Catholic Athletic Conference title, a league that gave rise to players like Stephon Diggs and Chase Young just a few years before him. He showed an arm that can toss a football 63 yards through the air to its target. He showed speed that allowed him to rush for over 800 yards as a junior. He showcased elusiveness that made him the most dangerous man on the field when the play breaks down, forcing 27 missed tackles last year. And when the offense is no longer on schedule, he's at his best. He displayed a hunger for the end zone that led to his being responsible for 37 touchdowns in 2019. But most of those traits are measurable. And since we must know, Williams runs a 4.57 second 40-yard dash. He maintains a 36.5-inch vertical leap. He stands 6'2" and weighs just south of 210 pounds. And you know he possesses tremendous arm talent, but those attributes do not matter to Riley as much as one in particular. February 2019, Riley said, the big arm doesn't matter a whole lot. That doesn't come into play a ton. Physically, the number one thing we look for is, are they accurate? They got to be accurate, and they got to be a good enough athlete. They're not always going to be Kyler Murray's. There's only one of those. But they've got to be good enough athletically. The biggest thing we look for is, was the guy a winner? And at the end of the day, if you're a good enough high school player as a quarterback, then your team is going to win, Riley said. In 2018, Williams displayed the quality Riley said all of his quarterbacks must have to play for him in the league title game. Rival and number 1 ranked DeMatha Catholic led number 2 Gonzaga 20-0 at the start of the game. Williams led the Purple Eagles to within a score, 20-14, when DeMatha took a 2-score lead once more, 26-14. But the 5-star quarterback kept pushing, kept his team fighting, so that within 39 seconds left to play, he found wideout Sam Sweeney for an 11-yard score to give Gonzaga a 40-36 lead. The game seemed won, and then DeMatha kick returner Dominic Logan Neely made a house call to help his team take a 43-40 lead. There were just 15 seconds left to play. The play call from midfield was one every person watching knew, and every person watching knew the odds of succeeding. Hail Mary, full of grace. Now, CougarStats.com performed the math using BYU as an example. Between 2005 and 2013, 403 Hail Mary passes were attempted across more than 7,200 plays. Just 10, or 2.5%, ended in touchdowns. Moreover, 19% of Hail Mary passes resulted in interceptions. To wit, Williams was 10 times more likely to throw an interception than a touchdown when he danced around midfield, buying time for his receivers to get into the end zone and chunked the ball 60 yards anyway. It's fine if you want to call Gonzaga's 46-43 victory against the Stags to win the WCAC championship a product of pure luck. Just as long as you remember, the Eagles were down 20 points at the start of the game. Williams willed them back into it, and Riley believes winning, like luck, travels. In January, he attended the prestigious Under Armour Future 50 camp in Florida. He was there for New Year's, just over a month removed from visiting LSU, where he spent time with number 1 overall draft pick and Louisiana folk hero Joe Burrow, when he received a phone call at the camp from Riley. The call was to inform him Vandegrift was about to reopen his recruitment. He was no longer committed to OU, and Riley wanted Williams for quarterback in his 2021 recruiting class. He told me he's not recruiting any other quarterbacks right now, and he's probably not going to, Williams told me. The spot was his, if he wanted it. Williams and his family decided to take an extended visit to Norman in March, just before the COVID-19 pandemic forced a lockdown nationwide and campus closure. But the visit stuck, and he did not give thought to being Riley's second choice. Instead, he let himself dream. Now he's settled on his decision. He has performed nearly a dozen interviews between July 4th and July 6th to satisfy an increasing demand to hear his story. Those kinds of requests can be daunting, but where most high school kids would ask for a break, Williams turns toward the moment with arms out to embrace. If a little bit of interviewing and a little bit of me having to be in front of cameras and things like that, or whatever it is that comes with helping lead people to go win games and big games, national championships and playoff games, is what it has to be, I guess I'll take that, he told me. I guess I'll take a little bit of those interviews. He will also take on all comers, challengers, and incumbents. He is fearless and hunting peerless. At the question of a plan to redshirt, he did not flinch. No, I don't have a losing mentality. If it happens and I don't get the spot, then it will be a decision at that time. But I think that is a losing mentality. Why go somewhere and want to go sit in redshirt when you could possibly play? His competitiveness will extend to the classroom, where he told me he will study business with an emphasis on entrepreneurship. He wants to have his hands in everything and be in complete control of who he is and what he decides to do. Spoiler is, Caleb, you very much are.